Nicki Minaj has launched one of her strongest attacks yet on Dr. Anthony Fauci. And this time, the rapper made it deeply personal. Just days after Fauci's explosive Senate hearing, Nicki took to X with a lengthy post, predicting a grim future for the former White House COVID advisor. According to Nicki, Fauci will one day end up needing a feeding tube, lose the ability to speak, and finally experience the kind of pain she believes millions of people suffered during the pandemic. The rapper blamed Fauci for what she described as lasting trauma suffered by newborn babies, young children, pregnant women, the elderly, and countless families affected during the COVID-19 crisis. She also claimed the pandemic destroyed public trust in government, saying innocent people no longer believe public institutions, while dishonest people walked away with billions of taxpayer dollars. Nicki's comments came just hours after Fox News reportedly described Fauci's Senate hearing as pure comedy. Alongside her message, Nicki shared an AI-generated image showing Fauci as a teenager, lying on a bed, writing inside a diary. Many believed the image was a reference to Fauci's recently released personal journals and work records, which Republican Senator Rand Paul made public ahead of this week's Senate hearing. Fauci had already criticized the release of those documents, saying they were intended to embarrass and intimidate him. The comments also came in the immediate aftermath of Fauci's marathon appearance before the Senate Homeland Security Committee. The hearing stretched on for several hours, with Republican lawmakers repeatedly challenging him over the government's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. But Fauci declined to answer question after question, invoking his Fifth Amendment rights a staggering 111 times. His repeated refusal to respond quickly became the biggest headline from the hearing. Here's a look at the exchanges that dominated Capitol Hill as Dr. Anthony Fauci repeatedly invoked the Fifth Amendment while facing intense questioning from lawmakers.
And these are important questions the American people deserve to know. Dr. Fauci, have you been read into any classified Department of Homeland Security program, any prospective special access program concerning gain-of-function research?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
But the attorneys are not recognized. In fact, the attorney was told not to sit at the table, and he's not obeying that recommendation. There's a row behind you, sir. That's where you were told to sit, and you're not. And now you're disrupting the proceedings. And so, look, this is the way Anthony Fauci wants to be remembered, for a lawyer not listening to the rules. That's the way you want to be remembered, and that's what you're going to do. You are not recognized, sir. Security, please remove him from the room. In no courtroom in America can you have your witness plead the Fifth Amendment and then your attorney gets to testify. That's what that letter is. The attorney's complaining and testifying, saying, he didn't do it, the prosecution's unfair. You don't get to do that. That's one thing you give up when you take the Fifth Amendment. You say, I'm not going to testify. I'm not going to give you any information. You don't then get to put your lawyer forward to justify it.
Dr. Fauci has saved lives, as have public health officials in the United States and throughout the world. And today, we are demeaning and degrading their life-saving service. Republicans are eager to rebrand you as a villain in order to distract from their own failure to protect Americans from soaring healthcare costs.
And it is unfortunate that you have been put in the position that you are in today. And it must be enormously frustrating to know that this hearing is designed to entrap you. It must be very frustrating for your attorneys to hear the chair's mischaracterization of the legal issues and posture that impact your decisions at the witness table today.
Did you ever have an opportunity to bring up the potential of measles deaths among children and an infection rate going around the world from measles based on the fact that so many children would not get their measles vaccine because of the shutdown?
I'm sorry, Senator, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
That is your right to do.
Well, nothing says honesty like taking the Fifth, huh, Doc? Let's try something. What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color?
Dr. Fauci, I wanted to hear perhaps an apology, perhaps some semblance of being sorry for what happened or that judgment errors were made. We didn't hear any of that. But he was subpoenaed here to testify, refused to answer any questions, even after being directed by the chair and being advised of the law requiring him to do so. He has cited a privilege that is unsupported because of his blanket pardon and because he waived the privilege by testifying at the start. I'm going to give you one more opportunity to comply with the law, limited to the period of your pardon. At any point between January 1st, 2014 and January 19th, 2025, did you destroy any federal record or tell anyone else to?
Under the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Given that you have a unlimited presidential pardon, what is your specific objection that you are making?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
My question was limited to the period of your pardon only. I find your objection unsupported and direct you to answer the question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Because you refuse to answer, citing a privilege that is unsupported because of your pardon, and after being denied to do so, this committee has scheduled a vote next week on a resolution certifying your contempt.